We are in session 15 of Drive to 5. As always, thank you to all of our sponsors and our HomeSmart marketplace for all of you agents. Today, Business Builder, Drive to 5, Roadmap to Success, session 15. Obviously, we're working toward those 5 transactions or 5 times the transactions. It's what we're doing. And I love seeing, as Corey talks about, the same faces every day, applying the tactics. So I really hope it's growing your business. Obviously, everything is often centered around engaging your sphere of influence to increase your business. Today's topic is going to be about the 90-day Mini CMA challenge. It's also called the neighborhood report. And what we're going to do, this was one of the 18 items that we went over in the Marketing Essentials class. And originally we started it as, okay, create an email, send it out to your clients, telling them what's going on in the neighborhood. As I started working with agents deploying the program, doing the 90-day challenge where they would do this 10 times a day for 90 days, I found that some agents gravitated to different types of media, different types of ways of actually doing the neighborhood challenge. Some of them loved texting it. Some loved doing videos. Some loved actually printing things out and dropping off a packet at someone's home. So what we learned was, and some of them did all of the different things, or I had one agent that did 5 different ways of doing the neighborhood report, because what they told me was, you never know what your customer likes. Some customers like texting, some like video, some like to hold a print package right in their hand. So what we learned was there's really 14 ways to implement the mini neighborhood report. So today we're going to talk about this one marketing idea and 14 ways to implement that one idea. So,
hey, Todd,
yes.
Before you go on, I noticed that she just logged on. The Sarah that I was talking about, listen to the text she sent me right before she sent me the video. She said, okay, I have to share this. I sent a text to a former buyer. He responded right away, lunchtime, and I sent a practice video and he said it was great. As I did, I now see this notification. He's now following me on Instagram. Isn't that awesome?
It's awesome.
Way to go, Sarah. And I loved the video you sent me. Thank you.
Way to go, Sarah. That's awesome. All right. Bob also sent a video to a friend in Seattle offering to refer him to a HomeSmart agent when he's ready to sell. That's awesome. All right. Very cool. How did you do your video, Bob? Did you do it in BombBomb? Just do it on your phone? How'd you do it? Just curious. All right, he used his phone. Awesome. Okay. All right, perfect. That's awesome. All right, well, let's dig in though to today's one marketing idea, 14 ways to implement that idea. Here's kind of our outline. We're going to talk about the concept of the idea first. What is a neighborhood report? Then we're going to talk about the 14 ways to implement that. We're going to talk about tips to get the best results, and we'll do some wrap up, some Q&A. So let's get started. Obviously, this is all about generating opportunities. And the economic climate going on right now in the country is making this opportunity one of the best opportunities. This concept or this tactic really sprung up last year when we had inventory tightening all across the entire country. And I was just talking to an agent down in the Southeast US, and they're talking about how there just are no listings to be had. And there's tons of buyers. And I said, well, then let's go create our own listings. And I told her all about this mini neighborhood report. And she's already implementing it, already getting great results. But what's going on in the country? What's going on right now? We've got a tightening of shortage and the fewest number of listings, active listings, that we've ever had. Here in some markets, it's the lowest it's ever been in the months of January and February. So where do we go from here? What are some other things that are compounding this? So we got our active inventory is down, but what else? Did you know that over the last, since the financial crisis back in 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, many Americans have tightened their belt. They have paid down debt. They have increased their savings. They've paid off equity and built equity in their home. So for a decade, the National Association of Realtors actually did a report for the 10-year time period from 2009 to 2019. Americans paid off more home equity debt than they had paid off at any previous time in history. And so you have this low inventory, but now you've got this high equity sitting there in real estate in a lot of people's homes. And they also have savings. They have cash, they have money because they got burned in the financial crisis and they don't want to be in that position again. So they have cash that they can actually use to make moves. On top of that, we had the interest rates go incredibly low. And I know all of us right now are like, yeah, but they're rising again. And, people are like, okay, well, never mind. Now the interest rates are rising. I'm not going to buy. The interest rates are still lower than they were 2 years ago in 2019. So interest rates are still relatively low, and they've been low for a long time. And the urgency really more is they're not going to get lower. So buy before the interest rates go up, because even if a home price goes down, but the interest rates go up, many homeowners would end up paying more money. So we have this perfect market right now where still it's a great time to buy. And then you couple that with the lingering COVID-19 debacle that's going on. We've had this COVID-19 for such a long time, and people have changed their lives. They now work from home. Many of them, they take school from home at different times. And I know things are slowly, they're returning back to normal. But what we found is that still the home has taken on a brand new priority to the consumer. Home is now the most important part of their lives. And there's actually some studies that talk about that. And most consumers, I did see a chart yesterday from Keeping Current Matters. I don't know if you follow Keeping Current Matters. I love that company. I'm trying to get them into the HomeSmart marketplace. They talked about how 78% of Americans love their home now versus 46 people prior to the the pandemic. And what they've done is they've invested, they've fixed up their home, they've made new spaces at their home to live and relax. So bottom line is home's a high priority. And then the bottom line is, I know we've had a lot of talk about inventory down, inventory down, inventory down. That's active inventory. Actual inventory was up because transactions are up. We at one point did the highest number of transactions in a 12-month period in a decade last year. So we did about almost 7 million transactions in a rolling 12-month around February and March last year. And now we are still at around 6 million transactions a year. That's upwards from the 4 million, 4.5 million, 5 million, 5.5 million from previous years. So all of this is what's making a perfect market right now to go out and create our own inventory. If you don't follow Dr. Lawrence Yun from the National Association of Realtors, I do. I follow him. I also often check his Economist's Outlook page on the National Associations of Realtors site, because he has these charts and these graphs and these PowerPoints and things that talk about what's going on. And when you have that data, you can use it then to talk to your customers. And notice how long it takes inventory to change. So even though inventory is down, it's not going to all of a sudden just skyrocket and we're going to have a completely different market. So people that are sitting on the sidelines are still going to be missing out. So the object is, how can we give information with a neighborhood report that makes people come off the sidelines and sell their home? And I'm actually going to tell you from personal experience. I'm in the industry. I'm sitting here, but I had my nose down. I'm working hard. I'm going through my life. And then somebody sent me something that caught my attention. And I was living in an older home at the time. And I was like, I'm going to make a move. And it was because somebody sent me one thing, and it happened really quickly. I had a conversation with my wife, and next thing you know, I bought a home, sold a home. And it happened by somebody sharing data and information with me. And right now, I would say, and I would challenge all of us realtors to, instead of talking about inventory down or this, from a, tough market point of view, to reframe the message to a positive message, not negative. There are more transactions going on than ever, before, still today. We have the perfect storm of, you have a lot of equity, you don't have debt, you have cash. It's a perfect opportunity for you to make a move, because the transactions next year are still predicted to be around 5.8 million. So that's within 200,000 transactions of last year. So that's up. The number of transactions are up. The question is, what realtors are they going to go to? And in my mind, they're going to go to the realtors that paint things in a positive message and actually urge their customers to get off the sidelines. How do you get your customers off the sidelines? Number one, you make them comfortable with what's going on the market. You don't talk about the market that, oh, this is there's no inventory and days, I don't know, talk about how tough it is. Instead, you make them comfortable and you say, I'm a professional and I can actually help you find a home. You educate, you inform, you provide info free of charge. You engage, you reach out. And the bottom line is you eliminate fear and you provide information that combats the hysteria that's out there in the media. Is that making sense? One of the things that Dr. Yoon has done is, there's all this and talk going on about crypto and different types of things going on. I'm not going to tell you what he said, but go read up what Dr. Yoon says about crypto versus real estate. And one of the things that he talks about is real estate has historically been a hedge against inflation. And it's been one of the best investments that a consumer could make. So, eliminate the fear, put it in a positive way, and share the data that talks about how actually, especially even in just in the last year and, 2 years, 3 years, real estate has hedged against real estate. So if you provide this valuable information, follow this process, make your clients comfortable, take away the fear, talk positively, educate, inform, provide info, engage and reach out, and eliminate the fear, then you can create inventory out of nowhere. And so that's what we did. I heard about this concept. I did a couple webinars with some agents and I said, we're going to do this 90-day challenge. We're going to do these mini CMA reports, or we started to call it a neighborhood report. Here's what's going on in your neighborhood. And if you did this 10 times a day for 90 days, what would happen is that's 900 mini neighborhood reports. And out of 900 mini neighborhood reports, how many new listings do you think you can win? And what we saw was agents started creating inventory out of nowhere. So there was an agent down in Florida, pulled up a neighborhood. There was only 2 homes for sale and both were under contract. So he literally canvassed the neighborhood and told the homeowners, there's nothing for sale in here right now. And I know from looking at the, public records, you have equity in your home. There's demand for your home right now. And if you're thinking about making a move, you've got some equity and some things that we can really take care of that for you. And so all of a sudden, he had someone say, yes, I want to sell my home. And not only do I want to sell here and I want to buy somewhere else. And all of a sudden he created inventory out of nowhere. And that's not my phrase. That was his phrase. He was like, I started creating my own inventory. And it did it just by these neighborhood reports. And some people call it a mini CMA. So instead of doing a full-blown CMA, you're just kind of giving a little snapshot about a current market analysis in a neighborhood, what's going on. Am I making sense? So one of the things we did was we created this little free template. By the way, Corey, we're recording, right? Okay, just want to make sure. All right, we created a template in the Marketing Design Center, and it's called the In Your Neighborhood Report. And it's designed for you to upload a satellite image of a neighborhood. and maybe, a street view of a neighborhood or the front marquee of a neighborhood. And then it has a paragraph where you say, hey, this is what's going on in your neighborhood right now. 1 home is for sale, not under contract. 3 homes are for sale, but under contract or pending. 5 homes have sold in the neighborhood from this amount to this amount. The bottom line, the concept here is the demand for your home is very high. Interest rates are incredibly low. Many of you have equity in your home. I just wanted you to know that that's going on in your neighborhood, and I'm here to help. Do you understand the concept of it? So one of the things then that you do is you take this template, you pull up your website, your HomeSmart website, put in an address, any address in your city, do a quick little snapshot by pressing the 2 buttons on the side of your phone, and then you upload those photographs into this little mini neighborhood report, or you start to do other things with it. And what we found was when we started working with the groups of agents that I thought, okay, originally it was supposed to be email or text. And it turned out to be, no, there's 12 or 14 different ways that agents were doing this mini neighborhood report. And that's what we've captured here for you today. So, this is an actual neighborhood right up here where near the office. And you'll notice that in the neighborhood on the far left, right where it kind of says Starbucks, there's only 1 home for sale and about 100 and some homes right there. And across the way, there's another like 2 homes that are for sale, 2, and then 1 more that's like sold under contract. You have all these homes there and not a lot of inventory. So it's a great little example of look at this neighborhood and, what's going on. It's in high demand. So who do you send this to, or who do you do this mini neighborhood report with? Number 1, you do it with past customers. You could go put in every address of every past customer in your HomeSmart website, do a satellite view of their house, and be able to give them a snapshot view of their neighborhood. You can also do it with your sphere of influence. And that's why instead of trying to do 3,000 of these or 900 of these all at once, and it's a big, huge project, my recommendation would be do 2 a day, do 4 a day, do 10 a day. It depends on how much you get behind this. But you could do sphere of influence, and you've got 900 people in your phone. Pick 10 contacts and do their mini neighborhood report that day. Get up an hour and a half earlier and then do this report, and then just watch how it impacts your business. Another thing is some agents started to farm neighborhoods. So they knew there were some amazing neighborhoods in their area. And so they began to farm. I'm going to farm every home in Greyhawk. I'm going to farm every home in McDowell Mountain Ranch. I'm now going to farm every home in, Desert Ridge. Okay. And so you move around the city, and I know of some agents that they're farming 4, 5, 6 different neighborhoods. Some of them have gone to some of those database resources, and they've literally signed up for a subscription. So they have the address and the information and even some demographic and home value information of every homeowner in the neighborhood. And then they send letters, or they send packets, or they do different things. So you can farm a neighborhood using this concept. And lastly, when you get new leads and you meet someone, say, hey, real quick, I'm just going to send you a quick little mini neighborhood report. No need to, respond back to me. Just provide it as a service. I'm going to send you a report. But then, if you have any questions on it, reach out, let me know. I'll be here to help. A real soft sell type of thing, a service. I'm going to provide you a service. And, all of a sudden, those are opportunities. So you can see here how you could easily do 10 a day, starting with your past customers, expand into your sphere, then farm a neighborhood and actually do some new leads. Does that make sense? So let me look at the questions here real quick. Aren't we kind of the sweet spot for sellers to make move before interest rates go up? Many would say yes. And that's why if you follow Keeping Current Matters, that company I told you about again, they have some great infographics about how a home that is $400,000 today at today's interest rate has a monthly payment of something else. But a home then that, let's say it would drop to $350 at a higher interest rate is actually a higher monthly payment for most people. And I don't have the exact numbers. I could be wrong on my math, but they have some nice little examples that show sitting and waiting. And also then they follow it up with, by the way, the charts are still showing that they don't expect home prices to decrease. The National Association still expects home prices to increase next year, not at the pace it did this year, but they expect it to slow down the increase, which is actually going to bring more inventory choice back onto the market, hopefully, but they expect it to increase, still not go down. So now couple a slight increase in a home plus a higher interest rate. Now that home is actually more expensive. So even if prices flatten and they stop going up, but interest rates go up, people are going to pay more money. So Bob, that's a great observation. You know, we are at a sweet spot right now. And that's where, again, I say share information, factual information, and combat some of the non-factual information that's out there in the news or in social media and some of the hysteria. Is that making sense? All right, number 2, Todd, when you get the neighborhood report in RSA, do you have to create a custom template report in RSA, or can the blank template be downloaded so you can modify each report from your computer? The blank template can be modified. It's in the Marketing Design Center. Remember, Corey showed you 122 times how to get into the Marketing Design Center through Real Smart Agent. It's in there. You just have to download the template. And I'm also going to show you, you can even do it on your phone and you don't even need the template, right? So love it. This is what's going on. All right, let's dig in.
I actually have it queued up on my computer in case somebody wants to see it for the 123rd time, Todd.
All right, we'll do that as soon as we do the first right.
Oh, and we do have a hard stop. I don't know if you were told that. We have to stop on the hour. So I'll quit interrupting you.
All right, here we go. Okay, 14 ways to do this mini neighborhood report. The first way to me is about texting, okay? And I showed you yesterday, actually, I think I might have my numbers out of order. I messed my slides up last night. All right, but anyway, text it. You know, you can simply type out a text. Hi, Todd and Kari, hope you're doing awesome. I wanted you to know your home's in high demand right now. In your neighborhood, only 1 home's for sale. 3 homes are pending and 7 homes have sold in the last 6 months. Between this price and this price, you know, I know you have some equity in your home. You know, I've been working with you for years. I know you bought that home from me 6 years ago and we bought it here and now it's worth this, you know, so we can put that equity to use for you. You could maybe even buy 2 different homes, 1 home here and 1 home in the mountains after selling your home right now. Let's talk. Whatever you want to say in your text message, you just simply type up a text message. And then you go to the HomeSmart website and you actually pull up the home. I like to do 2 different snapshots. I like to do one that is just a street view and it doesn't show all the homes. The one on the left, you can see clearly in neighborhood 1, only 1 home for sale. In a second neighborhood, only 1 home for sale. In the third neighborhood, only 1 home for sale. And candidly, I believe all 3 at the time were under contract. So it's kind of like, it's a great, now you layer in the homes there on top of it, and it gives a better view for, wow, there's all these homes, nothing's for sale. And I live right here. I bet if I put my home up on the market, I could sell it pretty quick. That's kind of the impression it gives. So, you know, we talked yesterday, 98% of all text messages are read. You know, it's fast, it's easy. To me, this little mini neighborhood report via text is a great, simple, easy way to do it. Number 2 is to do a quick little video about the neighborhood. You know, you step up there in front of the neighborhood and you say, hey, real quick, I'm out here at the Talon Retreat, or I'm at Peregrine Villas, or I'm at Peregrine Vistas, or I'm at McDowell Mountain Ranch, or whatever the neighborhood. You just literally, to do this screenshot for you guys, I drove up to the front of the neighborhood. I parked my car off to the side of the street, kept it running. I got out of my car, pulled up my video camera, and I shot a short little video with that right in the background. Took me about a minute. I hopped back in my car, shoot and send, right? Now you got a great little video. You also have little screenshots you can even use. Sometimes that's something I'll text people along with that text message. and say, here's what's going on in your neighborhood. The third way to do this is actually to do it via email. And that's where you do go download the template from the Marketing Design Center. Then you pop in the screenshots right from your phone. One of the things that I'll do on, I'll take the photograph with my phone. I'll email the photos then to myself. They go right into my camera roll. I email them to myself. And then from the template, I download the template to my laptop, and then I can go in and edit these photos. So super simple and fast. Don't work harder, work smarter, do the fast and simple, easy things, and don't make this so complex. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? When I took the photograph in the neighborhood, there's cars back behind it or whatever driving. That makes it authentic. That makes it real. Just do it fast and easy. Third way, email, and then you do the neighborhood report, right? And then you use the satellite photos. All right, so option number 4, believe it or not, some people still prefer to receive mail and to download mail, or actually open up their mail and actually have something in their hand. And so some of our agents also during, some states are on more lockdown than others. And some agents found that, by doing letters, they were able to farm neighborhoods that they only had the mailing address and they didn't have any other information from the homeowners. So they literally went and bought those neighborhood mailing addresses, and then they just typed up a letter. And then they put the second page printout of the screenshots again of the neighborhood. So this is where I was talking about one of the agents I worked with. He started with a text if he had their mobile phone number. Then a week later, he'd send them an email. And then a week later, he would send them, a video. And then on the 4th week, he would do a letter. And so he touched each homeowner 4 different times in a neighborhood. And then he said people in the neighborhood started to talk to him because he would show up in the neighborhood for appointments to talk to some of the people, and the neighbors started talking to each other. And next thing you know, he was, oh, you're the guy that's helping everybody in the neighborhood, with their home. And he did it by, farming the neighborhood, and a great letter is a great way to do it. Hello, we hope you and your family are safe during the the summer season or winter season or spring season, right? Positive news, your home is incredibly high demand. There's motivated buyers and sellers looking to purchase right now. They want to live in the school district. They love the location. Type up a neat little letter, fold it up, and mail it. It's old-fashioned, I know, right? Some of the agents I know, they love that idea of the children's listing agreement, right? So they also put a little fold-up printout, by the way, with a little Post-it note on it. Your home's in high demand, and if we move forward, we're going to involve the whole family, and I'm going to involve your kids. And next thing you know, we're going to have I'll buy each of the children, a Target gift card, when we sell the home. We'll make it a family affair. Also, the big home purchase agreement. Remember that idea from the video class? Cool little idea too. Option number 5, how to do a mini neighborhood report, is to do it via Facebook Live. There are a lot of people in your sphere that the minute you do a Facebook Live, they're going to get a notification that says, Bob is starting a Facebook Live. Danielle is starting a Facebook Live. If you're working with a group of buyers and you begin to do home tours and start to do Facebook Lives, hey, I'm out here in the Greyhawk area. I'm touring a home for one of my clients. I want to share it with all of you, other buyers that are looking to buy. Let's walk through this home, or something like that. Maybe you're just pre-touring a home or you're on a home tour. So then you do it on Facebook Live. But while you're doing it, you work in the fact, I'm here in this Greyhawk area. Right now, there are no homes for sale other than the one that I'm in right now, which means this neighborhood's in high demand, and so just a Facebook Live is just a great way to do this. And especially if you do steps 1 to 4 and you start to get people to follow you. So someone mentioned that they reached out to someone, and next thing you know, they're following you now on Instagram. So now you do an Instagram reel, and then they're seeing this. So again, it's just easy, multiple engagement. You're expanding your sphere, you're engaging your sphere. And the mini neighborhood report concept is awesome. And you could even do it about, keeping current matters infographic, and talk about how, hey, interest rates are expected to rise again, make a move now before they go up, So another one similar to the letter was called the packet drop off. So I had several agents that they wanted to farm a neighborhood, and they would create these 5 packets a day, but they created them individually for each homeowner. And rather than going through the mail, they would actually drive to the neighborhood and they would actually drop off the 5 packets to 5 homeowners. And they would leave them on their front porch, or they would knock on the door. And if someone answered, they would actually, talk to them and try to give them neighborhood report. But if not, they would actually leave the neighborhood report or leave a packet right there in their front door. Okay. So it's called the packet drop off. And that was especially effective for some reason in New York last summer. For some reason, agents in New York, they really liked the packet drop off. Option number 7 is to do something called the slide dial. So there is software out there that will actually allow you to send a voicemail message to 300 homeowners that live in a neighborhood without their phone ever ringing. And it's called ringless voicemail. And one of the companies is called Slide Dial. And it's a way to actually respond to people and without send them a voicemail without their phone ever actually ringing. And I do know of an agent one time that they had a buyer looking for a home in a specific neighborhood, and there just was no inventory, and the school season was getting ready to start. And they basically sent out a slide dial to the neighborhood and said, I have a young family right now. They're looking to move into your neighborhood. Nothing is available. You need to be careful on what you say so that you don't get into any of those, favoritism laws. And, you can't talk about, race or too much about the family, or even about age a little bit. So maybe not say it's a young family, but just say, I have a family that was ready to move in and there's no inventory. Is that making sense? And it went to all these homeowners, and sure enough, one of the homeowners called up, and he said on the same day, he got a voicemail or a message from the wife, and he had a phone call from the husband. And both of them called separately and said, hey, we're moving. And they not only sold, then they moved into another home in another neighborhood. So he actually helped his buyer. He got a sale and he got another purchase somewhere else. And he did it just by using this ringless voicemail. He made sure he followed the do not call list, the source that he got the phone numbers from. All the homeowners were on the do not call list. So, but it's anyway, option, 7 here is called, the ringless voicemail. There's also other options and some ways that you can do that. Number 8, it's called the Taco Tuesday. And I know it sounds a little bit corny, but believe it or not, the concept is you're going to send somebody Uber Eats and ask them to get on a Zoom with you. And you're going to say, hey, let's just talk about what's going on in your neighborhood. I'll send you tacos, Taco Thursday, or Zoom, or let's meet, etc. There's an agent in New Orleans. She does this pizza meal, and she'll send somebody a pick your pizza and let's get together real quick. And she just sends them a pizza and then, gets on the phone with them during their lunch or a happy hour. We did create a marketing piece that says, let's talk about real estate. And it's a cute little piece. And it's kind of a change up. We're so professional sometimes. This is a fun little one. And a lot of agents have gotten some great results. So the concept is you send someone something and say, hey, let's meet. I know of an agent that there was a sandwich shop in their neighborhood that had brown bags that you had the actual order of how you built the sandwich printed on the bag. And you would walk in and you would fill out on your brown bag what your sandwich, what you wanted. And then you'd give it to them. They would make your sandwich and put it in the bag. And that's what you had. And so what he did was he went to the store and he asked them, could I purchase a bunch of these bags? And he sent these bags out to his customers, or he hand dropped them off and said, hey, lunch on me. In person, if you're up for it, if you want, I'll have it delivered via Uber Eats. You just tell me what you want. And, let's get together. Let's catch up. Let's see how you're doing. And every time that he'd meet with people, he'd work in what's going on in the neighborhood and the little neighborhood report. Is that making sense? Every one of you have unique ways of doing this. That's why I love working with you, because I learned these ideas from all of you in different ways. And, he just felt that that was more personable, and everybody knew the local sandwich shop and they loved it. So, just ways to send lunch, share the mini CMA, get the listing, sell, help, buy, etc. Corey, I see you laughing. What are you thinking?
Oh, I just love that. I think that it's awesome. And I love the let's talk about and that we have a marketing piece for it. It's very fun. And I like the bag idea. I think these are fantastic ideas.
Yeah, they are. The funny thing is, though, I got to give Jonathan a hard time. Yesterday, I said, pour a glass of wine and text. And then he's like, no, drinking and texting, that's bad. That's dangerous. Watch it. And now he's like, happy hour, drink and Zoom. Which is it, Jonathan? Come on. Just giving you a hard time. And support local. I love that. Actually, our whole brokerage up in Canyon City, Colorado, Pueblo, Colorado, they support this whole support local, and they do some really neat community things about delivering food for elderly, for everybody picking up prescriptions, and it gives this real support local feel. I love that. Danielle, I don't know where you are, but you look like you're in Colorado. It looks beautiful. But anyway, support local as a great way. And actually what they found was they were supporting some local businesses. And next thing you know, they were all getting referrals from some of the businesses too that they were supporting. So it is a great way to do support local. On that thought, I do know of one agent that he used to go around every night of the week, 5 nights a week, and he would buy one of his clients dinner, and he'd buy it from a different restaurant, and he would do a little Instagram or a reel about, or a video about that restaurant and post it on social. And after a while, restaurants started to call him, hey, can you come do a pickup for one of your clients over here at my restaurant? And he started getting all these referrals, and it was all out of the support local. So love that, Jonathan. Great idea. Danielle, North Carolina looks beautiful. So love it. All right, number 9, we're going to be on track, Corey. Address the number one buyer concern. Okay, what do you think the number one buyer concern is right now? They're thinking that the market is so hot. We've had so many agents post videos or social media posts, sold in 22 hours, sold in 2 hours, sold in 1 day. And it's kind of made clients feel like, well, if I sell my home, then what am I going to buy? And how am I going to buy? And so then therefore I'm going to wait till the market cools because I don't want that whole stress. So number one, I'd kind of say it's a lot harder than, we make that sound easy when we say sold in 2 hours. Maybe we should not do that as much and talk more about just, we're here to help whatever situation. But the number one buyer concern is, if I put my home on the market, it's going to sell so fast, I won't be able to find something that I love, and I won't be able to then find what I want to buy. So what we have to do is, there are some solutions out there in the industry. If you live in one of the cities that Knock, one of our marketplace partners, has a program in, you can become Knock certified. And they have a program called the Home Swap program. And what it does is it allows you to buy a home before you sell a home. And so they have a great little program. You purchase a home, and then you turn around, move into the new home, and then you sell your home staged perfectly. You don't have to worry about showings or anything. So some of our agents started doing letters that talked about hey, I know everybody's saying that, it's a great time to sell. And some people are concerned that if I sell my home, I won't be able to find one that I like. Let me tell you about I know of several solutions that can help you. We have a solution with HomeSmart called Smart Bridge. You can actually get your clients pre-approved for a cash offer with Smart Bridge, and they can actually do the same thing. And there's different little unique tools. So there's multiple solutions. The concept, send a letter that just says, I can help you buy before you sell, or I can help you navigate the process and do it in such a way as a home seller. You can basically sell your home that says, you can't move in until I find something I want to buy. There's different ways that you can go about it. But bottom line is make your clients comfortable, educate them and inform them, tell them how you'll navigate that situation and eliminate that fear. And do that via letter, do it via email, etc. Is that making sense? So awesome. All right. This is some screenshots real quick, just of the buy before you sell from home from Knock or from different companies. Several mortgage companies also have that. Opportunity number 10 is called the oh, Sarah said, I'm meeting with my buyer tomorrow over smoothies that I videoed yesterday. Love it. That's awesome. All right. Good job. Way to get out of your comfort zone. I like it. All right. Number 10 is the equity update. I talked about how the National Association of Realtors has actually done a study about the decade that homeowners have built equity up in their home and paid off debt. And, there's a slide that one of our marketplace partners shows in their presentation that says home equity accounts for 83% of the average homeowner's wealth at retirement. So at age 65, when they retire, 83% of their retirement wealth is in real estate and home equity. And only 17% of their retirement wealth is in 401k and cash and savings. And that really shows how real estate is a investment. It is a wise investment, and that there is equity that is there. So the concept is you help customers understand the equity they have in their home. And then you send them a monthly equity digest from one of the services if you don't have time to do it on your own. And you also introduce them to a mortgage expert who can kind of help them as well. And you really open up the doors where they can even maybe start to purchase rental property or purchase a second home. So if I have a home in one place, but I want to have another home on the beach, I've spent years and now I have, $800,000 of equity built into a home. There's lots of ways that I could put that equity toward two homes and be building equity in two different places. So one of the tools that we have at HomeSmart, and again, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but this only costs agent $25 a month. And I would tell you to stop drinking Starbucks. Sorry, Starbucks. I'd say stop paying $5 a coffee and start making your own coffee and put that money toward a tool like HomeBot. And when I've interviewed top agents all around the country, and I've asked them, why do you get so many listings? You're a listing agent. Other agents are buyer's agents, but you seem to get all the listings. How are you getting them? And oftentimes I would hear, well, I have this system called HomeBot, and it sends my customers, my past customers, my sphere of influence, a monthly digest that shows them every month how much equity they have in their home. And it also shows them about their interest rate, that if they pay in an extra $200 a month, they can cut their 7 years off of their mortgage. And it's just a great little tool, and it opens up the door for having conversations into even becoming an investor and actually owning more than one piece of real estate. So here's some little screenshots of HomeBot. They show how, could a refinance right now actually save you money and interest? Believe it or not, there are people out there that haven't refinanced and are still on higher interest rates than are available today. So, the estimated value of your home going up, what would you like? How would you like to do it? They even have a tie-in where you could buy a new home and VRBO your old home. And this is how much monthly revenue you could get off VRBO. So all of a sudden they're like, all right, I want to make a move, and that's where a listing pops out of nowhere. So the big concept, though, is change the concept about real estate to be about it's an equity, what you're doing with equity. The HomeBot system, I will tell you that the majority of people open up HomeBot and often spend 16 to 20 minutes every month in their HomeBot digest learning about what's going on. This is a HomeBot screenshot of the marketplace, the agent marketplace inside of Real Smart Agent. And just go click in there and get started with HomeBot. You can try it free for 30 days. Upload 200 of your customers into HomeBot for free. And all of a sudden 200 HomeBot digests are going to go out. And believe me, your phone is going to ring. Several agents I know, they schedule when the HomeBot digest goes out every month, and they clear their schedule for 2 days because they get so many phone calls from HomeBot. So make it an equity discussion about building wealth, and then, talk about, try HomeBot. The 10-minute open house. I love the 10-minute open house where it's kind of a little bit of what's going on in the neighborhood, right? But you do a 10-minute walkthrough of a home, and you talk about the neighborhood, and you talk about what's going on. Here's 2 agents in Palm Springs, California, that they will go in on a home, and what they'll do is one will film and one will talk. And then the next minute, 15 minutes later, the other one will go live, and then the other one will film and the other one will talk. And they both have 2 different spheres of influence, but they work together, and they do these 10-minute open houses, and they're just amazing. Now you started working with buyers. So they had 40 buyers. Next thing you know, they had 50 buyers, 80 buyers. And all of a sudden they have hundreds of buyers that, homes are selling so fast, but they'll pop onto a 10-minute open house. And then they'll be like, I want to go see that property. I loved it. And they sold, I want to say 47 some transactions, in a market that was tough by doing these 10-minute open houses. So I love this. So having said, I tried to get HomeBot to reach out to me several times to create an account. There's a link right inside of Real Smart Agent. If you just click on it, I set an account up for an agent Friday last week, and it took me literally less than 5 minutes. You put in your name, your address, your phone number, you put your information in, and you just sign right up there through the agent marketplace. So just go click on that link. They don't need to get in touch with you about HomeBot. Just go do it yourself, set up the account. All right. Up on the screen is a marketing graphic in the Marketing Design Center that kind of explains how a 10-minute open house could work. So this is a great little graphic that you can use that explains the concept of a 10-minute open house. We also have tons of other little graphics that you can use that talk about virtual marketing. 2 last little items here, or 3 little items. Number 12. This one is so obvious, and I'm surprised that most of us don't do it. Now, you have to use this sparingly, but it's called the poll. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a post on Facebook or Instagram that literally asks a question about, are you ready to buy or sell? Would you like me to tell you what's going on in your neighborhood right now and send you a neighborhood report? Yes or no? And agents that post this, they're like, well, 80% of the people said, didn't even respond. But all of a sudden I had 40 people say yes out of my 400 people in my sphere. Wow, wouldn't that be a beautiful problem to have? That 40 people told you they wanted you to sell their home. So I challenged a group of agents one day in Ohio, and the next day I saw agents posting these polls, and I followed up with some of them. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I haven't done this before. It just says, hey, you're hearing in the news that the market is, hot right now. Is it making you want to sit on the sidelines, or are you thinking about selling your home, or something like that? And the best one is the one I have on the screen, just a direct poll. Are you thinking of selling your home in 2021 or 2022? Yes or no? And what happens if you get 4 yeses? You got 4 listing appointments, right? So the poll, how simple is that? All right, keep it simple. 13, we talked about this when we talked about building free Google Forms. It's the how can I help you with real estate questionnaire. And you tie that into the neighborhood report. I would create the report to be, would you like me to send you a free neighborhood report? And just go create a Google form. And if you have 5 people a day that say, yes, I would love to have a free neighborhood report. Now you have 5 new little neighborhood reports, 5 new prospects. Just go create a Google form and create, would you like me to send you a free neighborhood report? Making sense? And then number 14, the obvious one. Oh yeah, call. Just call people. Just call people and talk to them and say, hey, I know it's been a while since we talked, just wanted to kind of catch up with you, see how you're doing, work into the conversation. Did you know what's going on in your neighborhood? There's nothing for sale right now. So I just gave you 14 ways that you could do mini neighborhood reports. Do you like what you heard? Okay. How many of you could do that 2 people a day, 2 a day for 90 days? That would be 180 opportunities. If you did 10 a day for 90 days, that would be 900 opportunities, right? So who's up for the challenge of trying to do it for 10 a day? 10 a day for 90 days. That's 900 opportunities. Out of 900 opportunities, here's a little synopsis of what we just went over. Take a little screenshot of that, okay? 14 ways that you can do this mini neighborhood report, okay? Put it on your calendar, create some action items, time block some time, and I would say get up an hour earlier and try to do 10 a day. And if you do 10 a day, we're gonna do a little challenge here. 900 opportunities. How many listings do you think you could generate? Type it into the chat right now. I've done this webinar a couple times with groups of agents. So out of 900, could you get 4? Could you get 9? Could you get 10% people respond? It would be 90. Could you get 1% of people respond? 9. All right, so Sarah, what part of the country are you in? What's your average price point right now? Real quick, type it into the chat. Okay, so let's just say you could only get 1% response on these mini neighborhood reports out of 900 people. Okay, Cynthia's saying 10%. I love it. All right, here, back to the list. There you go. D wanted me to tell me when you got the list. She was slow to do a screenshot. All right, you got it? Okay. All right. Sarah or Danielle, type into the chat real quick your average price point in your area. All right. 9, let's say that you can only get 1% of people to respond. 9 transactions, 9 new listings. So Sarah's going to say around 200K. So around 225, I know that a listing price around 225 is around a $6,900 commission. So $7,000, okay? So 7,000 times 9 is $63,000. An extra $63,000 next year just by doing these mini neighborhood reports. Who likes that concept? I had an agent in Florida, got 28 transactions out of doing this over a 90-day period. And they said, well, what else do I have to do? I'm going to get up an hour earlier. I'm going to commit to doing this. And their goal was every day to do these 10. They did 900 plus. They farmed a neighborhood and they ended up like 28 listings. Isn't that awesome? And that's why I get excited and passionate about this, because it's not about doing the things that don't move the needle. All of these items that we've went over today, I do think they move the needle. Cynthia is saying, 600,000. So we got 600,000. So that's about, let's see, about $20,000 commission. So 20,000 times 9, you're looking at almost 200 grand in commission right there by doing neighborhood reports. So this really works. I hope you love this. I hope you can put it to work for you. I want you right now to write this down on a piece of paper, your average price, what your average gross commission is, how many neighborhood reports that you think you can do, how many new listings you think you're going to get, and come up with a dollar amount, and then post that dollar amount and realize that you're paying yourself. You would take a job right now. If I told you I'd pay you 90 grand next year by doing mini neighborhood reports, and you would take that job. So do it for yourself. You'll get results. So we have 4 minutes, Corey. We got a hard pop off. Thank you all. We'll have to catch up tomorrow. The 90-day report will work. You'll speed past your goals. There's a PDF I created about this too. Corey and I will get it out to all of you. So thank you all for joining us today. I'll see you next time. We got to go. Make it an awesome day, and we'll see you all at convention. And then we'll sit some new ones on the schedule for after convention. Right, Corey? We're good? All right. See you all. Take care.